You walk into the room and you do what you always do. You greet people, you smile at the right moments, you say something that lands, and somehow you end up being liked. From the outside, it looks like you belong, but inside, you are a half-beat behind your own life. While others are simply talking, part of you is studying the conversation like a weather report. You track the small shift in someone's tone, the micro pause before a laugh, the glance that changes the air in the room. You notice who is subtly leading, who is being tested, who is holding power without saying so. It does not feel like shyness. It is not quite introversion. It is not even the clean shape of social anxiety. It is more like a low-level alertness that never fully turns off, as if your body is still running a quiet scan for safety before it lets you soften. And what if that is the key, that this was never your personality, but your nervous system doing its job? It feels like you can fit in almost anywhere, but you rarely feel like you truly arrive. Fitting in is behavioral. You read the cues, you match the energy, you choose the right words, and you move through the moment without friction. Belonging is different. Belonging is what happens when you do not have to keep monitoring yourself in order to stay accepted. In this state, your social skills can look perfectly fine, even polished, but the experience inside your body is tense in a quiet way. Your breath stays a little shallow, your shoulders never fully drop. Your jaw holds a small, constant readiness, like you are prepared to adjust at any second. And the cost often shows up later, not during the conversation but after it. When you get home, your mind replays the night, scanning for what you missed, what you should have said, what a look might have meant. Sometimes the perfect line comes to you 30 minutes too late. That is the signature of this pattern. You are not failing at connection. You are managing safety while trying to connect. What you are describing is closer to a nervous system setting than a personality trait. In psychology, we often talk about the mind as if it is the one making choices, but your body is running its own logic beneath your awareness. When your system is not fully convinced that a space is safe, it shifts into a mode that prioritizes detection over ease. Not because you are dramatic or broken or socially unskilled, but because your biology is trying to reduce risk. This is what low-grade vigilance looks like. You stay pleasant, you stay measured, you avoid taking up too much room, and you keep a part of your attention reserved for reading what might happen next. It is protective, not moral. It is the same reason some people become very quiet, and others become very funny or very helpful. Different styles, same function. Maintain connection while preventing danger. From the outside, it can look like maturity or composure. From the inside, it feels like you are always adjusting. And the deeper question is not what is wrong with you, it is what your body learned to expect. For many people, this pattern starts early, not as a conscious decision, but as a quiet education in what closeness costs. You grow up in an emotional climate where connection is not steady. Affection might come warmly one day and disappear the next. The rules are not consistent because they are written by someone's mood. You learn that being accepted can feel conditional. You are rewarded for being easy, for not needing too much, for not challenging the atmosphere. In that kind of environment, a child does not think, "I should become vigilant." The body simply adapts. It begins to study faces, track tone, measure timing. It learns to speak less and watch more. It learns to make itself smaller until safety is confirmed. Over time, your nervous system starts to treat observation as the entry fee for belonging. You do not take up space until you are sure it will not be used against you. And this is the part that matters most. You did not fail to develop a social personality. You developed a strategy for staying connected in a world where connection could be withdrawn without warning. The hard part is that this strategy works, at least at first. It can make you unusually perceptive. You notice what other people miss. You can read the room, sense tension before it surfaces, and adjust your tone in a way that makes others feel comfortable. In groups, you may become the steady one, the thoughtful one, the person who knows how to keep things smooth. That is a real skill, and it often looks like emotional intelligence. But the cost is also real, and it hides behind your competence. Because when you are always monitoring, you are rarely fully inside the moment. You are regulating yourself instead of expressing yourself. You choose words that are safe instead of words that are true. You stay likable, but you feel slightly distant from your own presence. Over time, this can make intimacy feel strange, even when you want it. You can be close to people and still feel like you are managing the relationship rather than inhabiting it. When your attention is split between connection and control, spontaneity becomes expensive and being fully seen starts to feel like a risk. And once this strategy is in place, it tends to feed itself. First, you scan the room to stay safe, but because so much attention is busy scanning, you become less spontaneous. You hesitate a fraction longer before speaking. You wait for the perfect opening. You edit your sentence in your head while everyone else is already moving on. Then you feel it, that slight separation, like you are watching life instead of joining it. And that feeling of being outside the circle becomes its own threat signal. Your nervous system reads it as evidence that you should scan even harder next time. So you do. You analyze more. You control more. You arrive even less. This is why the half-beat behind sensation can grow over the years. It is not that you lack social timing. It is that you are running two processes at once: participation and protection. Even in a warm conversation, part of you is still doing risk assessment. The tragedy is subtle. The more you try to ensure connection by monitoring it, the harder it becomes to feel connected while you are there. Modern culture makes this pattern feel even heavier because it rewards speed as if speed were confidence. Conversations move fast, humor is quick, opinions are instant, and the person who speaks first often looks like the person who belongs. Social media trains performance, not presence. Work environments reward visibility, assertiveness, and a kind of effortless social energy that looks natural even when it is rehearsed. But your nervous system was built for calibration. It wants a few moments to read the room, to sense the tone, to understand the unspoken rules before it relaxes. In a culture that treats pause as weakness, that careful rhythm can start to feel like a defect. You interpret your own slowness as social failure, when it is often just your body taking time to update its safety map. So the solution is not to force yourself into a louder version of you. A lot of advice tells you to perform confidence, to talk more, to be bolder, to act like you belong until you believe it. But if the real issue is a nervous system that has not registered safety, then performance only adds another layer of management. The better question is not, how do I get people to like me? The better question is, what conditions help my body relax enough for me to actually be here? That shift matters because it turns the problem into information. If you feel that half beat behind, your system is telling you something about the environment, the pace, the power dynamics, or the emotional unpredictability you are sensing. Instead of treating that signal as proof that you are defective, you can treat it like data. Then you can start designing your social life in a way that works with your nervous system, not against it. Start by designing for lower noise, because your nervous system cannot soften if it is overloaded. Choose environments that are calmer, smaller, and more predictable. A quiet cafe, a walk, a living room with a few people. Places where the sensory volume is low enough that your brain does not need to scan every second. Next, build trust one-on-one before you ask yourself to feel at home in a group. Groups activate subtle ranking, shifting alliances, and unspoken rules. One-on-one gives your system a simpler signal. It lets safety become specific, not theoretical. Then give your body a warm-up period. Arrive a little early, take a few minutes to acclimate, notice your breath, let your shoulders drop, and allow yourself to be quiet at first without interpreting it as failure. You are not trying to be impressive. You are letting your physiology settle. During longer social time, plan regulation breaks the way you would plan water on a hike. Step outside, go to the bathroom, take a short walk, not to escape, but to reset. This teaches your system that you can return and still be okay. Finally, choose people who reduce self-monitoring. The right people make you less managerial. Silence is not punished. You do not have to be sharp or fast. You do not fear that a small mistake will be stored as evidence against you. The goal is not to be liked by everyone. The goal is to be safe enough, with someone that you do not have to keep checking whether you are allowed to exist. And this is the part you deserve to hear without qualifiers. You are not wrong for feeling slightly out of sync. You are not failing at being human. What you call not belonging is often a nervous system that learned, very early, that safety had to be verified before presence was allowed. That strategy may have protected you in an emotionally unpredictable climate, and it probably made you sharp, considerate, and socially capable. But you do not have to keep paying for it in every room you enter. The goal is not to become louder or faster so you can finally keep up. The goal is to find and create contexts where your body does not have to audit every moment to stay safe. When the environment fits, when the pace is kind, when the people are steady, your system updates. The scanning quiets down, the half-beat behind disappears, and you do not have to perform belonging anymore, because you finally feel yourself arrive.